Conversation with Zoe. Today I will be introducing you to a new segment of my show. It is called Focus. And Focus, I will ask for 10 minutes of your time to share and pick on the pros and cons of a social political issue that is or will in the future affect you and I. Well, we all know that today politics have become more social than we thought because, the likes of Donald Trump for president, the youths are demonstrating. Whoever thought that would happen? Well, they say charity begins at home, and I will be kickstarting this segment from my home country, Nigeria. What has been happening in Nigeria is something that, if you have not been reading the news, participating in the protest, whether digitally or in person, if you are in Nigeria or maybe abroad, whatever nation you are and you are affiliated, related to a Nigerian, whether by relations or by knowledge or by acquaintances, whatever relationship you hold, the fact that you're a human being, just as we all held our placards, demonstrated against the whole police brutality in America, and we will be protesting against a lot of inequality situations and crises across the globe. We all should be participating. It is 2020, and the world, if nothing we have learned, I think one thing we need to realize is that the world is so closely needed that we all have to be in this together, just as it is for the COVID response reactions, problems, uncertainties, and everything that we are all going through. It's so closely knit that we are all gonna have to hold each other's hands. Well, let me start with what exactly I'm talking about. So Nigeria has recently come under the spotlight, not for the greatest of things, but just as America went under the spotlight for the whole George Floyd injustice that made us woke. At least some people, some of our friends and family. This is about SARS. What is SARS? It is the Special Anti-Robbery Squad unit that started back in 1984. Wow, even before I was born. But then nobody took notice of it because it wasn't causing so much mayhem, crisis, and all of that bad stuff. But now this is what's happening, right? Let me explain. So recently, since October, Nigerian youths have been protesting because we made up about 98% of the numbers of protesters that came out demanding the immediate dissolution of the SARS unit, as well as the top to bottom police reform and decisive action to combat the menace of police brutality in Nigeria. So police brutality is not just customized, or it's not just fixated on one part of the world. It happens everywhere in the world, but well, like they say, when you light the fire here, it will spread around the bush. So that's what's happening. We've been demanding that it be called to an end, and police be reformed. The general police force unit be reformed. Now, I remember when I was back in radio, I'm a co-host. We used to talk about how the Nigerian security force unit was not state managed. It was directly from the top, from the FCT, from the Federal Capital Territory, which is Abuja right now, and it was causing a lot of tension because when they had the whole rotations and assignments, some of these, some of the indigents of this part of the state would be brutal to them, would be unfair to them when, stopping them for stop and search, accosting them, asking questions that the police should ask. They are there to enforce order, protect lives and property and all of that, keep the society sane, but they haven't been doing so much of that. So yeah. And the why again is So I've told you the what of why Nigeria has come under the spotlight. This is the why. SARS officers, which is a special anti-robbery squad, have now gotten a bad name for themselves. Of course, there are some good people there for everything. If you put oil in one hand, it just messes up the whole fingers. So what happened here is these SARS officers made a bad name for themselves. They started stealing, threatening, harassing, extorting, coercing, blackmailing, raping, assaulting, kidnapping, and even murdering innocent citizens. Wow. This is so sad. But I'll carry on. The Nigerian government continued to turn a blind eye to this injustice. And you know what? We said, we are not going to take this anymore. No, we are not going to do this anymore. You have to get your lives together, because people are dying for being great. People are dying for just living their best lives. People would go abroad, acquire knowledge, come back home, make good names for themselves, get good jobs, and then you would be unhappy and want to extort them. It is so unfair. Dreams have been cut short by stray bullets, by harassment, by people who felt they knew their rights, but then democracy doesn't exactly work so greatly back home in Nigeria, does it? Because if it did, the people's voices, which is supposed to be the powerhouse of the government, listening to them, should have gotten the government to do something in the first place, isn't it? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Well, the WHO, like I said to start this presentation, the WHO has been the Nigerian youths, which have made, we cover the bulk of, we've been faced with the most harassment from the SARS unit. Now, it's not just the SARS unit. Let me just correct the impression there. It's not just the SARS unit, because the whole police force, some bad eggs in there have been tainting their image. But then why wouldn't their images be tainted? Let me give you a little background. I'm almost out of time. So here it is. A DPO, a divisional police officer, the salary, their wages for a month is 250,000 naira, when a banker takes home 350,000 naira level 2 or maybe level 1. And you expect them not to be upset? I saw my former colleague did a report on, an eyewitness report on how the police camps and the security bases were, the state they were in. There's nothing good to write about it. And I get it that this is bad. We have to stop it. The government has to listen. Well, then it just makes it worse for them, because the government has denied this, and then it led to Black Tuesday, which had October 20, when a lot of youths were shut down at the Lekki toll gate, and people died in the 20s, and the army denied it, the president denied it, the governor denied it. And we had Western media report and give not accurate figures, but close to accurate figures. And still, now they want to sit at the table with former heads of state and just make promises that are not coming to fruition. But we have to keep demanding, because this is making us look bad. This is chasing away foreign investments, whether for protesters, whether for the youths of tomorrow, the leaders of tomorrow, and whether for the nation. Our foreign investments is going low. Inflation is on the rise. There's curfew. People are not allowed to work. And it's not just COVID. Now, speaking of COVID, warehouses were looted because we had relief materials, resources, goods stored up by corrupt politicians. And you expect people to keep quiet? For how long will Nigerians be quiet? Well, I'm happy we have found our voices. And I'm happy we are using it. Thank you for watching this, and I do hope you continue to stand up for justice wherever you are. This has been Focus. I will join you next time, but we have to get our lives together. This is to the Nigerian government. I will bring you another episode pretty soon. Thank you for watching.